Netherlands.
Oh.
Hey, thank you.
I've been saying all of that, and so if you've missed all of that at the beginning, we're having some technical issues, and turning the volume on is one of them.
So glad that you found us for another Funful Friday.
Yes.
Live this time. So we're independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrators based in the UK. So if you live in the UK, France, Germany, Austria, or the Netherlands, you'll be able to purchase current Stampin' Up! Products from our online shop. Do use the current host code, which can be found on our website at mitosocraft.com, mitosocrafts.com, to receive a handmade card from us or any extra gifts if your order qualifies. So every Friday, Barry does another special edition, which is going to be live, and he'll be creating a faceted hexagonal card.
Yes, faceted hexagonal aperture card. But I had it all written out in the description, everything, and then I've had to quickly do another link for you all. So yes, so faceted hexagonal aperture card is
Cool.
what I'm going to be creating for you tonight. So it's very simple. So I'm going to go camera down, and we will crack on with tonight's demonstration. And all the cards are coming in again. Let's go
With
down.
all the windows open.
With all the windows. It's very hot today. I don't know about anywhere else, but it's very, very hot here. So hopefully you can all hear. Well, it looks like you can all hear us now. So please let us know if you can't, or if I'm just talking to myself again. So yes, let me just turn on some lighting here. So what I'm going to be using today is I'm going to be using the Merriest Moment stamp set, just purely for a sentiment, and I'm going to be using the Whimsy and Wonder Designer Series paper, which is this paper right here, which is what I'm going to be using today. So it's this lovely non-traditional colours. It's got some nice silver foiling in it as well, which is really, really nice. And yeah, that's what we're going to be using today. But I'm not using a sentiment out of the Whimsical Trees, it's because I wanted something which is a little bit more bolder, so which is why I'm using this one here, and I'm going to be using A Joyful Christmas to You and Yours. I'm going to be using the Stitch So Sweetly dies as well, and I'll go through some other tools which we're going to be using in a moment. But let's go through the tools which you need to start off with, or the sizes you're going to need. So I'm going to be using some Blush and Bride cardstock here. So I'm going to be working in inches for this one. So this is 5 3/4 of an inch wide by 11 3/4 of an inch long. Okay, so that's that one. You will also need yourself some matte and layers. So I've got here some Misty Moonlight cardstock. So this is measuring 2 5/8 of an inch by 5.5 inches, and you've got 4 of those pieces. You will need yourself some Designer Series paper. So again, I've used a Whimsy and Wonder Designer Series paper, and you will need 4 of these measuring 2 3/8 of an inch by 5.25 inches. Okay. You will need some acetate measuring about 3/4 of an inch wide by about 5 1/8 or 5.25 inches in length, and some basic white for your stamping of your sentiment. I'm probably going to cut this one down into a smaller size, but I've got a larger size just if I need it. So that's what you need. So go ahead, if you're going to create this, go ahead and prepare all of your items, and we can then get cracking and crafting with this. It's important, you're going to need yourself some foam mat or something to be able to do some scoring, and you're going to need to take your pick tool with the scoring tool in it. You'll need a ruler, a pencil, and your snips. Okay, but these later on to help make this faceted box work. Alright, so we're going to take our Blushing Bride or your chosen cardstock, and what we're going to do is we're going to score it along the long edge at 2 7/8 of an inch. So I just need to give myself a little bit of room. So we'll start off with 2 7/8 of an inch to start off with, and we will score that one there. Then we're going to take it to 5 3/4 of an inch, and then we'll take it to 8 5/8 of an inch, and then I will take it to 11.5 inches. So I've seen in America, obviously your sizes are slightly smaller, so you would need to use to do this one here. Okay. So that's what you've got now. So you've scored this along the long edge. So 2 7/8, 5 3/4, 8 5/8, and 11.5 inches. Okay. So what you need to do with a pencil is you're going to need to grab your pencil here, and down this centre score line, you want to put some pencil marks. Now I'm actually going to do it on the back side here because it doesn't show through. I'm on the back side, and I am going to pop a pencil mark here at 2 1/4 inch along that score line, and then I will then take a pencil mark down at 3 3/4 inch. So 2 1/4 and 3 3/4. This is just so that you can help you line up a line in a moment. So if we do that, so again 2 1/4 by 3 3/4. Okay. So you've got yourself 6 pencil lines here, but the most important one is that you've got it along your score line. And then what you want to do is you then want to draw a pencil line out 1.5 inches from each side from the score line. So line your ruler up with that pencil mark you've done there, using the pencil marks either side to give you a straight line, and then just draw a pencil line out 1.5 inches. So I've lined my pencil line up at the 4 inch mark, because then that way I know that I've got 1.5 inches either side to play with. And then I just draw that over, and then do that on both of these. So line up your pencil lines, come out 1.5 inches and 1.5 inches that side there. Okay, so are you following me so far? What you then need to do with this one is you then just want to pop a pencil mark 3/4 inch down and then 3/4 inch up from the centre score line. So everything at the moment is we're working on the centre score line. So I'm going to pop a little pencil mark here at 3/4 inch down, and then I will then pop it at 3/4 inch up. So because this is 5 3/4 inch wide, we're just going to then pop the pencil mark at 5 inches this side here. Okay. Good. So what we want to do is we want to now cut out this rectangle in the middle here. So you don't necessarily need to put those lines in if you don't need to, but what we're going to do is we're just going to connect all of these up, and we're going to cut this rectangle out. So I'm going to grab my trimmer right here, and I am just going to, oh actually I know what I need to do before you do that to make this part a little bit easier. I found it easier if when you're doing these pencil marks here, when you're drawing across, just pop a little bit of a pencil mark here and here on the end parts, because then you can line that pencil mark up with the channel on your trimmer, and it will help you cut it out. So I'm just putting some pencil marks at the ends here and here, there and there. Alright, so do what I did in the middle, but then pop some pencil marks where these lines intersect at the ends, because when we come to do the trimming parts, we can line that pencil line up here, and it lines up down the bottom as well, and knowing that I can pop my blade in the center here, and then I can then cut along that pencil line. And then because this trimmer has got that little crosshair in it, you can then use the crosshair which is on here to then line it up with a pencil line going across, and that's when you can stop. Okay, and then I can then do that one there. So I'm lining the pencil line up again, that little mark which is at the end, it lines up down at the bottom down here as well, blade in, and then I cut myself along that pencil line. So it's just a little tip for you to make that a little bit easier. And if you do the pencil line light enough, then that way you'll be able to rub it out. But I mean, I'm doing it on the back side. So what I mean by the back side is that the raised score line is up, and that's what I class the back side of it. So I'm now going to go this way here along the long edge, line that pencil line up at the top there, pop my blade in the middle, and then I can then cut down that. Okay, so that there just needs a little bit more coaxing out on that side. I will do this one first. That's it, and there we go. I will just get a little bit of a file in there, and I'll just sand that down a little bit to make that a little bit easier. So that's how you want to cut your rectangle out. If you want to, you can also get a rubber, and then you can then just go over these just to make them a little bit more smoother. And if you have got one, if you've got a nail file handy, you can also grab yourself a nail file, and you can just tidy up these edges if you want to a little bit, and that just helps tidy that edge up. So I'm just going to just push those, just tidy this up a little bit. Alright, because this is now going to be the front side, so remember all the pencil lines are now on the back side. Alright, what you want to do with this one here, you've got those two pencil marks you've done at the top, so you've got the ones which you've done at 3/4 of an inch and then at 5 inches down here. You now want to grab your take your pick tool, and you want to now just join that dot up with the pencil with the corner down here. So I'm going to go with a smaller side, so I'm going to go there. Now I'm not bringing the score tool all the way to the edge here, because it's going to be it's weakened down here because I've cut it, so I'm not going to bring it down. So I'm stopping about just about 1/4 of an inch away from the end, and I'm just pushing in. So you can see that I'm just stopping. If you can just see, I'm just stopping before I get to the end. As long as the majority of the score line is in, it will be okay. And then do the same on the opposite side, so you don't accidentally punch a hole through your cardstock. And then do that both sides for me. Okay, so that one. And this one right here. What's everyone saying, Jay?
Not much. There
Not
you
much.
are.
There
No
we are.
sound. There. Jadis is rolling on the floor, laughing.
Good,
Gian
good.
is there, Caroline, Betty Bailey, Betty H, Denise, Claude,
Thank
the
you.
Crafter,
Yes, thank you all for joining us.
and Kelly, Valerie.
Lots of you, lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you. So hopefully that's where you should be up to there right now. So you've got all your score lines in. We've cut out our rectangle, and we've now popped in our triangles. Okay, so we're now ready. What I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to now fold all of the straight score lines. So I'm now folding it the way that I initially would like it to be. So fold all of these over. Okay, and then this is a tiny tab which we've got at the very end. Okay. With these score lines here, what you want to do is you just want to gently manipulate them. So again, I'm working on the opposite side to what I did. Obviously, this is because I've scored it on the back side, because that's where my pencil lines were. It was just easier to leave the pencil lines without rubbing it out. Then what we want to do is, this is naturally how it wants to fold in. So we're going to now push this score line and this one in, and then just kind of like push it in the center and then fold it. And then that naturally then wants to then close itself like that. And then you can then do the same on the other side. Just gently push it in, start the score line off, and then with it pushed in, you can then just push it in and then fold it, and that's that. All right, and that's basically the faceted opening. Okay. we will just grab our bone folder and we will just finalise and just finish these off a little bit. So it is actually very, very simple to do. It's just getting those pencil lines in place and you're fine. And then that closes up, and then that there is how that box looks. Folds flat for postage. What we need to do though is we need to do some decoration. So you need to pick your designer series paper. So this is where the complicated bit is. You've got 2 of them which are going to be on the back panel. So pick your 2 back ones, and then you can then go ahead and you can then mat and layer those pieces, because they are going to get stuck to the back. Alright, make sure you pick your pattern. If you've cut it already, make sure you pick the pattern which lines up so that the pattern flows. Okay, so I'm just going to do that one. Like so. And we'll get those ones, and then they can then just be getting ready to dry, ready for later on. Right, so they are now the matching pattern ready to be stuck on the back of the card, but we'll come back to those in a bit. What we need to do now is we need to now work out our folds here for this. So the best thing for you to do is to grab your mat and layer, pop it in position like so, like that, and then you're going to want to grab yourself some removable tape, so some washi tape, something which is low tack. And then once you've got it in position right here, you can then just tape it in place and then just close it down. So it's probably best to do it both sides so that it doesn't wobble. So I've got that all in position, so I'm happy with my borders. Okay, and then we'll then close that down. Close that like that. So that's like that, and I'm just closing it in half so you can then see. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab a pencil and I'm just going to draw around that. I can then carefully remove this mat and layer. Save that tape because we can use that later on again for the next part. Pencil line on the back here. What we want to do with the pencil line now is we just want to extend this pencil line out a little bit. So I'm just going to come out the required distance, and I'm just going to draw a line around all of this. This is just so you can then have the correct mat and layer. So can you see what I've gone and done there is I'm just going to draw on just the same equal distance around all of this, and then we can then pop 2 together, pop your tape back over the top of this again, like so, and one at the bottom here. Make sure that they're lined up nicely, and then what we will do is we will then grab our snips and snip through these. I'm sure somebody could probably work out the exact measurements on the trimmer, but this was just a nice easy way of doing it, and was the way that I saw it being done. So just cutting down that pencil line like so, and then down that one like that, and just pull that away. So you've now got yourself 2 pieces which are your mat and your layers.
Clever.
Okay, so that's that. Again, you may just need to just tidy those up, but those pieces now will be the matte and layers, he says, but I've done something wrong somewhere along the line because that hasn't worked. What did I do, everyone?
Did you not push it to one side? Because you put it right in the middle. Oh no, I don't know.
Okay, Jay, you may need to give me some more Misty Moonlight. I made a boo-boo there somewhere. See, live crafting for you. What did I do wrong? That's completely out.
I saw you trace it as well.
I did. I don't know where I've gone, what I've gone and done wrong there. But the principle is correct. So I'm just going to cut myself some of these again here. So I need to cut myself 2 and 5. I will take that to 5.5 inch.
Flip it and try it.
2 5/8 of an inch.
Karen said flip it. It could be the
Flip
other
it, yeah. I will try that now actually. Because I stuck it on there. It should. No, I'm completely.
No, the other side. There it is.
Oh, there it is. There. Wow. Okay.
There it is. Well done, Karen.
Well done, Karen.
Thanks.
But yeah. Okay. All right. Problem kind of solved.
Is it the top and the bottom? Yeah.
Yeah. So if that happens to you, then don't get yourself in a panic like I just did, and just flip it and reverse it. Okay, and then that will then create your pieces like that. All right. So we need to do exactly the same with these ones right here. So we need to make sure we get them the two matched up. I need to then pop this on here. I then need to then do exactly the same and pop that in and pop this down. So I didn't make a mistake, I just didn't, I just put them on the wrong sides. So I'm just going to rub out those pencil lines. See, and that's the joy of having you live, because you can then go, you can then tell me my mistakes. So do the same for this line. Okay. And then we just need to then make sure that when you're doing your designer series paper, I need to then make sure that you line it up how you want it to be, especially if it's a pattern which is going to flow, and that actually is not going to flow because again I've used the wrong piece. See, now this is why I don't like doing these live sometimes, it's because when it goes wrong, it goes wrong. Make sure that you line this up. Then we can then do that. So just get that all in position. Then we would then trace around this one. Like that. Because that one there will then be on that one. So make sure that you've got it this way. Make sure you've got it that way. Then turn this one over and just sandwich it like so. I'm just going to pop a little pencil mark because that's not the one I want. And then just stick these two together once again. Okay, like that. And then we would do the same thing with our pencil line. Just extend this out ever so slightly. So this is on the back side, so this isn't going to matter about the pencil lines on this one, because these will get glued in. And then you then want to then cut through these two like you've gone and done here. You alright, Jay?
Yeah.
He's making noises, which then makes me concerned
No, I was
that
just
something's going wrong, or he's come up with an idea.
I was just thinking of how you can make it easier.
And then that's those pieces right there. So we can now take these off. Knowing that these pieces will then fit onto. So I've gone and done it again. Have I just gone and opened it up the wrong way? It's the way that I take them off, and then when I handle it again, I go in there. So that's how that fits there. So you can go ahead and you can stick these on.
This was.
I got myself on the right. Tis was. Did I say tis was?
No,
No.
I think that's what the word that you're gonna say. Can you just
Getting in the right pickle.
pickle?
So that one can go on there. So just know that your tracing is correct. Know that you've lined everything up correctly, and then just make sure that you take them off in a way to then pop them back on again. It will fit. Okay. So there you've got those. Obviously they're not going to be, because you've hand cut them, they may be a little bit off, but just take your time and get them as best as possible, and it will look absolutely fine. So that's those pieces there. So these get stuck onto these ones right here like this, but before we do that, we want to add ourselves a little bit of acetate. So we've got the acetate which we had prepared from earlier on. Okay, we will remove those out first. Now I'm going to use myself some Stampin' Seal Plus, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop a little bit of this Stampin' Seal Plus just down here and here on this side here, just so that I can then attach this Stampin' Seal Plus, sorry, this acetate can then go across this panel like that. So just line it up in the center, and then that can then get stuck inside like that one right there. What I will do, just for a little bit of added security on that one, I'm just going to take myself a little bit of some over the top like this, just to secure it in place just a little bit more. And that one. Okay, so they are just in place like that. Now what we can do is we can then stick these pieces over the top of this one with glue, and then knowing that the acetate is in there as well and is stuck on top, is then just going to secure it even more. So that one is in there like that. Just position it until you're happy, and do exactly the same with the other one. And then position that one over like so. Good, lovely. Whilst that's drying up, I'm not going to fold that just yet, so I just need that to dry up. I need to do my sentiment. So I'm going to take my sentiment here, and I've got a joyful Christmas to you and yours. I'm just going to ink this up, and then I'm just going to then stamp this in the center of this right here, which is that one. And then I'm going to die cut this one once again with the smaller die, because initially on the first one I did a large die, but you couldn't see through the facets, you couldn't see through the gaps. So I'm just going to take it down to the smaller one. And then I'm just going to die cut that one out just like that. And this is then where you can get like a nice aperture with these dies as well. So I'm just going to stick that in place with a little bit of and then just run this through like so. And there we go. It's got ourselves a smaller sentiment in a second. I will show you the original one, which was larger. Well, you can see the. Oh no, you can't because I haven't got the thumbnail there now. So that there is then going to then get stuck onto this one. So that's now had a little bit of time just to dry up. What we can then do now is we can now pop some of these on over here. So one of them is going to be, so as this closes, that closes this way. So you want to pop, this one is over here, and then this one is over on this side over here like that. Alright, so it's kind of the opposites now on the back side. Again, this is only really if your pattern needs to flow and match. So we will do that one over here. Now there's two ways which you can do this. You can do this either we can glue it onto the inside so it cuts, so the join is on the inside, or we can do it on the outside. I'm going to go on the inside on this and then feed this one through afterwards, so it kind of covers up the join which you've got here. You're fine to pop it on this one here, but the other side you'll just need to insert it in afterwards. We will close that down like so, and then that there, just allow that to dry. Okay, pop your glue on your back side on this one, and then we'll then feed that through to then pop that back panel in. So we will just gently feed that in like so. Pop that in position. And then that there kind of covers up that join a little bit there at the back as well, so we're not seeing that join in between. Just going to leave that for a second just to set up. So, and that is pretty much all of this faceted card. Just to finish this one off, we need to take our Stampin' Seal Plus, and we just need to pop a little bit of this Stampin' Seal Plus in the center here, like that. Then this goes centrally on that acetate or window sheet, sticks inside like that there. Go ahead and put your own embellishments on here. You can embellish this, you can put some, if you use, especially if you're using this stamp set here, you can maybe cut yourself out some of the poinsettias, some of the holly, and then you can pop some, really go to town with the embellishments on the side here. I'm going to keep this as it is, really simple. And then what happens is it's folded flat for postage like so. When the person gets it, they then pop it out like that, and then that sentiment then pops itself out. And because I've used a smaller one here, you can then see the facets, you can then actually see that hole, and that there is then how that fits and sits. How beautiful is that? Do you like? What do you think? So that's that one. So here was my original one. which I used a much larger sentiment in there, which I then felt it then covered up too much of the facet and the hole and the DSP behind. So I've just readjusted this because this was a 6" by 5 3/4. So if you wanted it to go into a 6" envelope, it wouldn't fit. So I've now redesigned this and rejigged this one down so that it fits into a 6 by 6 envelope, and that there. And then you've got room to pop your panels on the back there if you want to. If you want to write yourself a
Said add bling bling to it.
add bling to it. What? It's got some bling. It's got some shiny bits in it. It's got some foiling in there. But yes, you can. You can pop yourself some dimensionals on here. Some embellishments, some gems. I think would be quite nice actually if you were to, especially on maybe this larger one, you can then go ahead and you could then pop yourself some bits, cut yourself some sprigs, some flowers, and then you can go on, get yourself out some Winter Stella, and then you can then pop that in the middle, all sorts. But what do you think? Do you love it?
Love it.
So Carol, good. So you've not seen this hexagon card before, thank you. Yeah, hopefully instructions were okay. Wait a minute, how did you get 6 dots? What do you mean by 6 dots, Diane? Do you understand, Jay? No. We'll just wait to work it out for you. But there we go.
Amazing.
That is our Faceted Hexagonal Aperture Card.
Lovely.
Good. Lovely. So, thank you very much for watching. We will just hold on a second, wait for Diane to see if she answers our question. She's probably typing away.
You can show off this for
yeah. So Jade, we did a bauble class last night. This was some of the colouring which Jade did on that one. So if you want to learn how to colour some of the stuff, if you're not confident with colouring, then Jay has done a masterclass showing you how you can colour these 4 baubles here. Are you going to show the card with it, Jay? No.
I'm going to be blocking it on Monday.
Okay.
And I might use this fanciful for another card.
Lovely. Okay. So yes, so our colouring masterclass was last night, but it was recorded. So if you want to buy into that one, and then you can then watch how these are done, they are available for you. So, hi Ruth, sorry I didn't see you pop on there. We've had nothing from Diane yet, so Diane, if you want to still pop the comment in there or email us, and then I will then try and answer that question, but I'm not sure how to get 6 dots. I'm not sure what that is in reference to, so please Diane, message us if you want a bit more clarification on that one. So good. Are you going to come back over, Jay? Yep. So let's come on over. Jay's just sitting down.
There we go. Amazing.
Doesn't it look lovely?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was just trying to figure out if there's a easier way to do the DSP. But you've already traced it anyway with the mat. So
yeah.
But it's really lovely.
Yeah, it's really
so
nice.
Well done. So yes.
I'm going to do one in craft card as well. I want to play with craft card.
Yeah, we do have craft card.
We do have some craft card, and it's 6 by 6. But the thing is, though, because it's a 6 by 6, we're going to need to do it in 2 panels to bring it together. So, but I reckon it will work. It will look lovely in a craft card. So you can see his brain. Yes. You can see his brain ticking away now.
We're just
so lovely. Thank you very much. Thank you for sticking with us and the hiccups we had at the beginning. The YouTube gremlins come to join us.
Yes.
So we will be back with you again on Sunday evening, 7 PM for this week's normal YouTube video.
Yes.
And again next week, Wednesday and Friday as well.
Cool.
So thank you all for watching.
Thank you.
We will see you again very, very soon. Take care for now and have a good day wherever you are, or good evening. See you later. Bye.
Bye.